and a lot of nervousness in this group this morning.
This is going to be a day all about time. Some of these riders are going to try and get themselves off the front and get as much time as they possibly can going into the base of that big climb of the day. 10 kilometers this year, an extra 4K, as much distance as they can from those big hitters, because they'll know that when they hit onto the hill, they will start to reel riders in.
Edward Pawson here from the Pista Corsa PRV team trying to get away. These attacks at the start are really going to force the pace. It's going to be a tough decision as to who goes up the road here and whether these major teams who are vying for GC, the Creation Signs, Mitre Q and so on, actually let them go. My thoughts are, as we can see, no. They're going to shut it down, keep it tight, and they're going to try and contain everything as long as they possibly can before they hit that lake.
Yeah, we saw the shake of the head there of the man in the black and yellow, James Gardner of Otago, first day stage winner, and that he's looked over at the rider in front of him and said, no, I'm not coming through, I'm here to ride for Josh Burnett.
And relentless is probably the best way to describe these attacks at the start. And at some point, as we've seen in previous years' editions of the SBS Bank Tour, one of these groups is going to stick, one of these groups is going to go away. Meanwhile, whilst they're trying to get away, the whole field is chasing them down. Once again, you can see Tour Leader at the front with the green Harcourt Sprint Ace leader there. He will be thinking, hey, I don't want these guys getting away because they could potentially take my Sprint Ace jersey.
So approaching some 20 kilometres in.
Southland is going to potentially be decided on this stage.
Looks like the likes of Keanu Watts there of the PowerNet team heading towards the front. That is a team that has performed extremely well throughout the week so far. And of course, they've got the likes of Kent, they've got the likes of Ollie Jones, who are very good climbers in their own right. And we would expect to see them up to the front of the race here when it really starts to matter.
Yeah, the Jollies Hill Pass is not an easy climb. It's not a hard climb. I think they've shut the gate for today, and I think this group's going to go away until such time as we get further on along the lake towards the stage. This is nice and controlled, but there's no urgency really in the chase.
Not at all, and it'd be very interesting there with the size of that group that's been allowed to get away, Doug. That is quite a substantial group to be allowed to get away. I mean, traditionally, we've seen some 5 to 6 riders get a decent sort of a gap, but the main peloton, more than happy just to cruise here. Quite a mix of teams once again, but yeah, the Pista Corsa team, they've very much come out to play here today. They've waited a few days and now have decided it is time to try and hit out. James Wilson there, the man in the blue colours from the Central Benchmakers, is a strong rider, got a very good sprint on him. It'd be interesting if he tries to pick up a few points along the road.
Yeah, we saw him featuring in the very first stage around the Queen's Park, the 3 away with James Gard doing at that stage. But there is a good mix here, Julian. Marshall Irwood, we saw earlier on there, number 6, Marshall Irwood, Creation Signs, Mitre Q, probably sent up here by Josh Burnett as a bit of a gatekeeper just to keep an eye on things. I don't think he'll be driving the pace.
No, he'll have a job to play here for his team as we see a couple of riders getting across here from the Copeland's Cycling Time Racing team here. So they're starting to put numbers into the front of the race here as we see a variety of different riders here from all the teams starting to be represented. I saw iBuild in there, C Brown Builders in amongst it. Home Solutions 1 or 2, it's really starting to mix it up.
You do often notice this later on in the tour. We're halfway through this year's edition. The brakes do go away a wee bit easier. The legs are...
And I'm sure there's going to be a few of them chewing the handlebars.
Aidan Sinclair from the Business South Cycling team, he is not waiting around for this group. He can see the pace is easing off a bit. Marshall Irwood, I think, has probably had a help in that. This man has taken a big leap of faith. He's obviously brave, got good form. He's had a bit of overseas experience as well too. He knows what he's up to, but this is a huge move at this point in the race. He's still got a lot of climbing to do before he even gets to the base of the climb, and he's taken off on his own.
Yes, it's certain to the front, and of course the Tour Leaders team, they've got the Home Solutions riders up there as well, trying to keep things under control. They don't want that lead group to get too much of a distance.
Yes, the Home Solutions team are called to the front in honour of Bailey O'Donnell. Chris Ellington here, you can see the 49-year-old World Masters champion. What an incredible career this man's had. He's a workhorse. He has seriously taken to cycling and is really showing these younger guys how to do it. It is incredible to see these vets. The Masters cycling scene across the world has just taken right off, and it's
the change of the cluster overnight to ensure they can get themselves up the steep gradients that is the Remarkables.
Yeah, very controlled at this point in time, and you can actually see here Josh Burnett's worked his way into the third wheel. He's very, very controlled and measured. Josh knows this climb like the back of his hand. He has ridden it, reconned it like a lot of the riders have. You can see him here now having to make a small acceleration to stay in touch with the lead wheel here, but Josh Burnett, this is his time to shine. Creation Signs Mitre Q have set this rider up for this particular point. It is now onto his shoulders to deliver.
And there's our first sign of that chasing group, now down to 2 by the looks of it. And looks like Copeland's and TES are the 2 riders that are trying to get across to the Business South rider, who's had a fantastic effort off the front here, but his day at the front is coming to an end.
So you can see here now Daniel Whitehouse from the Quality Foods Southland QFS team. He is a late call-up. Daniel Whitehouse put the word out in August that he wanted to start. Cam Scott saw the message come over the socials and said, hey, I'll give you a go. A very, very good recruit here from Cam Scott, the DS at Quality Foods Southland. This man's looking very, very comfortable here. And Josh Burnett is really also looking comfortable. He's working away, keeping a nice rhythm going. But Daniel Whitehouse is the guy setting the pace at this stage.
Copeland's once again up there as well, and it looks like Jenner sitting at about 4th wheel. Now, this is the man that's already experienced the orange jersey. We know he's won stages in the past. He's a very consistent sort of a rider, and he's got himself there right in the mix, right from the base of the hill here. And look at it explode, Doug. This is incredible. We entered the base of this hill probably with around 80 in this peloton here. We're getting it down to around a dozen.
Yeah, it soon whittles down, and you can see here the leaders now, William Cooper and Elliot Schultz, as you're saying, they are starting to get onto the lower slopes. It does have the odd step and steer, so the riders do get a wee bit of a breather, if you can call it a breather. But the cadence and the style of these guys, they've got the shirts open, they are seriously hot. They are in complete contrast to these guys who are coming at them like a freight train.
And there goes our leader. He's disappearing out the back there in the pink colours from the Business South team, and he's disappearing as the chasers now start to put their heads down and get into the rhythm and try and peel themselves up towards the front of the race.
And there's Matthew Wilson, the advanced personnel cycling team member, sitting up at the back, putting his glasses on his hat. He's a mountain bike, comes from a major mountain bike background. We all know Josh Burnett's mountain bike background, but these long sustained climbs seem to be attracting the mountain bike. We know the Oliver boys from Creation Signs Mitre Q are the mountain bike champions of New Zealand. So it's going to be a very, very long sustained effort from these two to stay away from that chasing group behind.
But the two of them are working well together as we start to see some riders struggle a little bit here. Schultz starting to disappear off the back of this group here. Of course, he's a man that's finished second in the New Zealand Cycle Classic. But just going with the rhythm here, it is just absolutely crushing the hopes of a number of riders here on the climb. As Burnett gets out of the seat, he has been up this hill so many times, he'll know every inch of it.
Every inch of it, and every single watt that he's putting down on that power meter, they ride well within themselves if they can. You can see there, that's game over for one of the Cooplands lads. But Daniel Whitehouse is the only rider in this whole field that's managing to stay, or attempting to stay, on Josh Burnett's wheel. He's riding within himself. He's got a beautiful style. He's suited to this long climbing. We've seen him win huge stage races in North America with climbs like this. So it is now Josh versus Whitehouse in the QFS squad. This is going to be a ding-dong.
I'm intrigued to look at the sprockets that they're in there, Doug. There's some big ones on the back there to ensure that they keep that cadence turning over. And Whitehouse looking very comfortable with it as they now reel in yet another rider. And this will be the TES Deep South rider here, who's been out in front for quite some time now, William Cooper. That was a fine effort from him. Now, has he got the legs to jump onto the back of these two? Because he'll know these are serious contenders. He may well have set himself up for this so that he could get the opportunity to go with them.
That's very, very interesting you say that, Julian, because a lot of the riders who perhaps didn't have the legs to go with that initial blast of these guys at the start may have tried to get a springboard up, get up the road so they can get caught like this. But you can see Josh Burnett and Daniel Whitehouse, they're putting on the pace. Daniel Whitehouse is looking very, very relaxed. He's got a very, very economical climbing style. He's not out of the seat at all. He's stayed seated all the way. Josh, you can see in and out of his seat. He's utilising all of his muscle groups that he can. Daniel Whitehouse, at this point in time, is looking very, very, very ominous for Josh Burnett.
He's got the single chain ring on the front there too, just noting that as it came along. So he's got his gearing range all sorted. And of course, in this day and age, that there,
You can see Matthew Wilson has not given up. What a tough ride here from the advanced personnel rider.
So Burnett, he is a former winner of the remarkable stage. They've already gone past that point, which was at 6 kilometres. Now starting to approach the gravel section, which goes for a couple kilometres at the end, just to make life a little bit more challenging for them here. But the man in the polka dots looking to secure maximum points here today and really make it difficult for anyone to get that polka dot jersey. Can he take a stage? Can he get that jersey? And most importantly, today, Doug, can he put himself in the orange?
He is doing everything he possibly can, but he's being pursued by these two riders. And Julian, this terrain, the steepness of this climb, the surface, you can see here Josh taking a quick look at the camera. This is brutal. Glenn Thompson's really put these riders through their paces by putting them up here. This is probably as tough a stage as you'll ever see in any bike race in history in New Zealand cycling.
Whitehouse and Wilson here now going head to head. They are still trying to get themselves across to the front here, but they know in the meantime they have a battle going on for second and third. And between the two of these riders here, Doug, both of them have an outstanding climb indeed.
You can see here the style of Matthew Wilson, the advanced personnel rider, as opposed to Daniel Whitehouse. These two behind are chasing this. The leader here with 1K to go. Josh Burnett is looking really, really in himself. This is an incredible ride here from Josh. But it's still... You've still got to get over the terrain. You've still got to get over this gravel. Josh will be hoping not to have any mechanicals, not to have any punctures. And these two behind are seriously, seriously hanging on.
Wilson absolutely digging in here. He's giving it absolutely everything here. There's nothing to lose. Every second will count. They know they could springboard themselves right up the general classification here with an outstanding ride, and all three of these riders are putting that in here today. But Burnett, you can see him disappearing up around the corner. And now Burnett will be seeing the finishing flag here in the closing metres of the Queen stage of the SBS Bank Tour of Southland. Josh Burnett, take a bow. You've taken it out here. The second time up the Remarkables, 10K of climbing, and he is proving to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest rider here in the SBS Bank Tour of Southland. An outstanding ride here by Wilson to come into second place and springboard himself further up that GC.
An incredible ride from these riders. Josh Burnett has really shown these boys how to climb up a major climb, and you can see the exhaustion here from Matthew Wilson. They're spent. And then of course Daniel Whitehouse, he has really paced himself well, probably paid the price for keeping up with Josh in the earlier climbs. Celebrates and congratulates the second place getter there. These guys have really had a big day out.
It's been a massive day out here on the Remarkables. It has proved to be the defining factor here midway through the tour. Josh Burnett of Southland destroys the field today on the Queen stage to put himself firmly into the orange jersey, with Matthew Wilson some 48 seconds off and Samuel Jenner at 2:28. Bailey O'Donnell continues to lead in the Harcourt sprint ace from Tom Sexton and Ben Oliver. A staged victory, also the orange jersey, and add to it the Jesco Hydraulics King of the Mountains lead for Josh Burnett. Declan Trezise continues